Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters in the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and as promised, we're here today to talk about the Flymen 2020 version of the Fly Tester. You know, this item was out a few years back from Flymen, and man, we sold a ton of them, but it was not the best design ever. I think Martin and company knew that, and they went back to the drawing board, and they have recently brought us Flymen Fly Tester 2020, and we've already been selling these very well here in the shop, and we've just gotten another batch of, I believe, 100 delivered today, so ready to go. And I want to start off by saying that I realize that, yes, friends, this is an overpriced aquarium. I realize that. The cool thing is you don't have to buy one if you don't want to. But for some fly tiers who are really into it and don't mind spending a few bucks, it's kind of a cool piece to have in your fly tying den or on your desk or what have you. And it can tell you some stuff about the fly patterns that you develop. So pretty simple. It's got a basic motor. It's got a little tube in there and a couple of hooks. And you know, it allows you can put surface flies, subsurface flies, and get an idea of mostly how they look and a little bit about how they behave in the water. So what I want to do is take a couple of minutes and we'll do sort of an unboxing. I'll show you how to put this together, and then we'll take a look at some of the pluses and minuses of the 2020 Flymen Fly Tester. Okay, so it'll come boxed up like this, and it comes in a handy carrying case if you want to take it with you on the family vacation. And everything fits nice in the case. Of course, you got your main compartment and your tube here, and then you've got the motor, and it does come with instructions, you'll be happy to know, but of course we're not going to read those. And a few accessories, and then you get this sticker that says, "Hi, my name is the Fly Tester." And you know, I would not wear this around. I wouldn't. If you want to put it on top, but don't wear it and tell people your name is the Fly Tester. Anyhow, just a couple of tricks to putting this thing together. It comes with a couple of little like silicone type feet, and you've got to place these things just right inside the tube. You'll see on here what these things do is help hold the tube in place. If you don't put these little silicone feet in there, this tube, when the motor's running, can kind of clank around quite a bit. It's not going to stay in place, and you could potentially scratch it up a bit. And I believe you have to get these 1.25 inches off the bottom and right up against these little guides in there, you'll see. And then really it becomes really simple. You put the nozzle on the motor. The motor has suction cups here, and one thing about getting the motor in place, oh, by the way, the motor has a flow adjustment. You can adjust the amount of flow. I think right here we're at about the lowest setting that you've been looking at, and then you can increase the flow and make it go a little bit faster. We've kind of found that it tends to work best, at least for us around here in the shop. We leave it at the lowest setting. It tends to get a little bit more natural action of the fly. And when you install this, the pump, you want to make sure that it's all the way at the bottom. Make sure it's all the way at the bottom, okay? And then it also helps for these suction cups to be wet. Okay, so you want to get those a little bit wet. You can fill it up with water and then put the motor in, and then you're going to get your tube in place with those little silicone bumpers. And then this is a little hook that you'll see, and the one that's working here, this hook holds your tippet kind of out of the way. And we have found that if you put this little hook, if you put it right in front of the flow coming out of the pump, it tends to kind of create some funny hydraulics and the fly kind of acts funny. So we put this off to the side a little bit. You'll see in the shots there that we've got it just a little bit off to the side, and that way it doesn't impede the flow of water coming out of the pump. And then you've got little stoppers right here, and those are going to be to hold your tippet in place as you put, and this one is for the subsurface. You're gonna install that hook down there and run the tippet through this hook and then put your fly into the tube. And this little guy, this little hook, you will see I can kind of use that hook and kind of just draw down on the tip a little bit. It might give you a little bit better idea about the action of the fly. So it's really pretty simple. We're using distilled water for this, and this is a really great idea. That's going to help prevent any kind of lime buildup that you might see like in your shower or what have you. That was one of the drawbacks of the older ones. And if you use the distilled water, that shouldn't happen. So it's really pretty easy to set up. The trickiest part about this is getting these little silicone pieces in place, you'll see, to hold that tube so it's not bouncing around. Other than that, you can literally have this thing set up and then tear it down in just a matter of minutes. So I would say some of the, it's a cool little thing to have. You know, I'll probably have one and have it in my fly tying department just because it's kind of fun. And it does give you an idea how that fly looks in the water. I gotta say though, it's not an exact representation on a lot of how a lot of flies behave in the water. And somewhere around here, I had the legendary Swimmin' Jimmy. Where did he go? There's a Swimmin' Jimmy. And the Swimmin' Jimmy, as you all know, is probably my favorite fly. Of course, game changers are getting pretty close. And it does give you an idea of how the Swimmin' Jimmy looks in the water and how the materials flow and stuff, but it absolutely does not give you a good example of how that Swimmin' Jimmy behaves in the water. For example, when you jerk a Swimmin' Jimmy and it floats back up and all the crazy things that it does, you just really can't get that idea. So I would say this more has to do with how a fly looks in the water, how your materials might blend together under the water, as opposed to so much as how a fly acts in the water. I mean, you get a little bit by pulling on it there. You pull on the tippet with this obviously scientifically designed tool. As usual, there's probably more to this tool that I don't understand, but I can kind of give you an idea of how that fly is going to behave, but I think it's mostly how it looks. And this is, well, let's face it, this is for a fly tyer that has everything, for sure. I would say some of the drawbacks of it. Oh, by the way, I think we've got close to a gallon of distilled water in here. Just, you know, one of the drawbacks that we have found that we don't love is it does not have an on-off switch. I know that's not the end of the world, but you're going to have to unplug it and plug it back in every time that you want to get it working. And but other than that, it's a fun little thing for a fly tyer to play around with, and can certainly give you an idea of how those flies look in the water and how your materials come alive and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and swap out, and we'll throw the Swimmin' Jimmy in there. And You just kind of get him in the tube there. And get that tippet around that hook, which is again off to the side a little bit. And then see if I can get some help there. I dropped the extension cord. There it is. And there we go, there's the swimming Jimmy. It gives you a little bit of an idea, but of the action of the Jimmy. Again, you can see how the materials look in the water, how they blend together. It doesn't really represent how the swimming Jimmy behaves in the water. But still, all in all, cool piece. We've been selling them like hotcakes. Just got over 100 in the shop here today. So there you have it, friends. The Flymen Fly Tester 2020. If it's something that you think you would enjoy, you can pick it up on our website. If you believe it's an overpriced aquarium, which is fine, you don't have to buy it. That's great. So we appreciate you being here as always. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode. It's free and certainly helps us out, and hit that like button. It makes us feel good. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for more. If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.